And welcome back to Friday Night Smite, everybody. I unmuted my mic this time around, so Gormizer will not be having a conversation by himself for all the picks and bans, as we previously have done in the past. But you all should know me. I'm Freight Train, and you should definitely know the guy to my digital left or right, Mr. Gormizer.
Yeah, man, I'm really excited again. Some of these games, I mean, some of the games we've seen today have been insane. And even that last game, even if you look at the fact that one person got really far ahead, I mean, that Thanatos play was crazy.
I'm doing production over here, and I was like, I used my one curse word too. I was just like, shit. It's like, damn, like that trade out was hot. I was just like, yo, we do the Dev Knight's gonna connect. I was like, because he obviously still has to stand still. And anyways, we're talking about a previous game that was amazing, but we've got kind of like Quick Natas, but we got Stop Natas here with Man Ray, Faith, Sops, and the rest of the crew versus I Heart Gilly Guy. I'm not going to say their whole name because it is pretty ridiculous. That's about all they're going to get. Bands coming through. No Robin, no Terra, no Monkey, and no Beastmaster coming through, as I like to call him. The Kernanos gets taken away. And
I think a really big thing to note here is if you look at the names down the left and the right side, like there's a ton of big players in the game.
I don't know any of these people.
What? And it's a best of one. Who are these guys? But they have been playing for a while, and they've played each other a lot and played with each other. And really, I mean, this is going to be like a big Clash of the Titans. They have a best of one to prove themselves. And the way it's going right now, seeing the fact, first off, Fafnir was first picked, but Anubis is currently being hovered over. I'm not quite sure what my life is.
Not first pick. Okay, all right. I was just like, curious. I was like, well, if you're going to actually go ahead and do I don't know whether I like this bank time because I feel like I'm getting trolled more or what's going on exactly as we're swapping between an early game jungler and a late game jungler. Really, the dictation to me goes the same. Thor is the better option. Just Nemesis. We saw the one game go 40 minutes earlier today in round 1, which was an amazing game. But realistically, not that many Smite games go 40 minutes. The average time is 28.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that, especially with someone like Nemesis you mentioned, more late game oriented, definitely going to be stronger the longer this game goes. And you don't typically see them go that far. She should be able to kind of come online. Maybe around the 15-minute mark is when we're going to start seeing her actually be able to get a lot of work done. Early on, she can cause some trouble.
I just don't like the pick early because now it's going to give them look. This is Arachne. Arachne's an early counter. Yeah, exactly. Now all of a sudden, Nemesis is going to have a little bit of an issue. Now, whether this is a troll or not, Arachne this is the bang time that I have an issue with because I was like, oh, it's going to get locked in, but no. But again, this is an option. They have a really good choice. We're like, oh, Nemesis. Okay, let's pick a really high threat jungler that can stop Nemesis. Well, guess what? Arachne has a counter to that with the ability to stun. The shield can't do anything if you're going to get stunned out.
Yeah, and Arachne actually being like really good lockdown.
They're really thinking about this.
If you throw the web out, Nemesis natural occurrence, dash twice. Okay, now the web's on the ground. Arachne's just going to chase you down, but they're actually going to switch that one to the Circuit. But I mean, still high mobility going to be able to chase you down.
And then the fact that the Cobra's Kiss is, again, a hard CC, so Nemesis is going to go ahead and pop that shield. Cobra's Kiss is going to negate that instantly. Fafnir can negate it, who we can go ahead and negate it with either a dive bomb or a ricochet, as long as Mark of the Crow is on her. So I love the first 3 picks from Sop right here. The fact is the Fafnir was a first pick and deserving of it, and then you kind of got counterpick Gilly, I got to say, in the next 2, really, when it comes to that jungle selection. But Vulcan, this is a god I have had so many words about if this gets selected. Unless it's Pretty Prime, I don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. Unless you're Pretty Prime, I don't want to see Vulcan.
This has been probably one of the gods. I mean, me and you have seen great Vulcans, and we've seen terrible Vulcans. There's like no middle ground. You either are exactly where you need to be, you know what you need to do, great positioning, great ability management, and everything about them, or you just get torn apart early on. With a Circuit, I have a feeling this might be one of those torn apart early ons. I have some faith. I think that I Love Gilly can handle it, but it's going to be rough. Man.
Well, Remedy, I believe, I don't know, Panda Turtle should be ADCing if I'm correct. We got Bra and Solo. This should be Remedy selection if I'm correct in the mid lane. Normally actually runs a lot of the Changa as well in the mid. He's done that before. But it's again, yes, it's one of the most game-changing ultimates in the game, and me and you were playing when we were doing our little tribute and everything during the other week, and I played some Vulcan. I was going ham, right? But let's be realistic. Again, you either have that game or you have the worst game, and it's so hit or miss sometimes as the rest of the bands come through not wanting to deal with the Lord of the Afterlife or the warrior. Hercules, the champion of Rome, is gone away. And a lot of support spanned out for Sop.
Yeah, just not wanting to give them, I guess, really any comfort picks. And honestly, when I'm looking at it, I mean, Sop's on Hu Yi. He is insanely strong here. He is going to bully anyone he's in lane with. Although, with the Fafnir pickup, of course, on the one side, that's going to be very good. Kuzenbo being hovered over. And this, he's not on the team, but I have sat down, there's one support, Mort Brooklyn, who swears Kuzenbo's support is going to be great. He's shown me when he does it, he can pull it out, but it looks like it's Sylvanas being hovered over. Still trying to discuss this a little bit as I Love Gilly, but right now, I mean, that's kind of what the team needs. They have extra little bit of lockdown and a lot of healing.
Yeah. Sylvanas is the better selection than Kuzenbo. The issue with that is that there's way too much knockback and potential to disrupt the positioning of the other team, which is great. But here's the issue. You've got this Vulcan. Vulcan needs to know where you're going to be. Now, if you could sit there, and again, if you're going to grab the Khepri, which either one I like, if you can guarantee where they're going to be with the root pull combination or whatever, then Vulcan has a chance to be successful. The Sylvanas, obviously, with the ultimate is really the best combination if there's that comes to fruition. But it is going to be the Khepri selection, which should be helpful because if Vulcan does get into some trouble, be able to bring him back.
And I'm also looking kind of towards the Nemesis. If things go kind of poorly early on, not able to kind of hold up to where she needs to be, she has that shield to get a little bit of health back, but if things go really downhill, second life coming out from the Khepri. Kronos actually being hovered over, and this would be a Kronos mid. I mean, unless they decide to throw the Hu Yi into mid, this would be something, I mean, we've seen, Zeros was running this relatively recently. It's kind of been the transition. They took away some of the things that made him a great ADC, but he's still a really good mage, and people have kind of
forget that sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with Freya. It's like, why isn't Freya seen in the ADC role as much anymore? Well, they raised the price of Fatalis. It's a core item, and it obviously, with Freya, you're trying to get that Fatalis on second at worst. Maybe Boots and then Fatalis next, but no later than third, and it's just a little bit too expensive an item. But you could still go ahead and obviously play these characters like a mage like Kronos, who lost the Fatalis effect. We've also seen Soul come back. I mean, when you do shoot, we've even seen Rama build ability base with Ataraxia. If you can build power on certain characters and utilize scaling properly, then yeah, you can still do the damage required. And now Odin is going to be the last selection for Sops. Now, taking a look at the other team, this is just one of the gods. Odin is somebody that every jungler, every support, and every solo laner needs to know how to play. You have to be able to play those three characters if you're in those roles, because you never know when this right here, 4 out of 5 are able to get stuck in the thing unless they ult. And you know what I mean? Like, it's great.
It's just, yeah, the perfect setup at that point. And you notice, like, they picked him last. You wait that long. No one banned it out, and that was really kind of the key. They took out the Hercules. They took out the Osiris because they didn't want to deal with it. But they didn't think about the fact that everyone on their pick list was not going to have a way out of that cage. And now they're going to be forced.
They better be careful with the Hades, though.
They have to have a Phantom, but yeah, it does set up the Hades.
Yeah, the Hades over here. Now, I don't know if anyone... shout out to my man, Lord WizKid, who actually got a pentakill on Hades. Right? I think he was in like, ranked. Bronze Elo. I think he was in Bronze. I don't know, Wiz, if you actually end up somehow watching this, I don't really know what rank you're in. It looked like a pretty bronze level play when all the players just stood in Hades. It just died. But the potential of Hades is there with the Bancrofts. It's a very strong item, and Hades is a very strong character with a couple of the changes to his balance. And we will see if that ends up being an effect. At least they have one pure escape from the cage. Maybe that can help out. But we're going to find out soon if Sopnitas can go ahead and take out the I Heart Gilly guy. We will be right back with the semifinals of Friday Night Smite. Again, stay tuned for the rest of the action. All right, everybody, and welcome back to Friday Night Smite. Again, my name is Freight Train, and joining me is Mr. Goremizer. We've been doing this a long time, Gore, and, well, we get to go ahead and see Panda Turtle's not so legendary and known Benny Q wannabe Vulcan ADC.
I mean, we were saying, we were already saying Vulcan is one of those hit or miss. You either do great or you do poorly. That, I feel like, escalates. It's just twice as hard when you bring him over into this lane. I think that we might be able to see something good out of this, but
yeah,
it's the farming. He should be able to get the level, should be able to get the items to get the damage.
A lot of shoulds.
Honestly, I mean, he's going to be able to walk over. He could be able to, steal away or stop Gold Furies. Like, I like the positioning for it, but at the same time, again, it's against a Hu Yi. It's going to be rough.
They're all missing autos right now. It's kind of funny. Love Logan looking at it like a hammer. Just first auto went to Sops. GG, F6. Time to go and into the mid lane as Galaria is going to take nearly half his HP and damage from the early pressure of Hades and Homie G over here on the Nemesis. A little surprising, but again, you know, really Man Ray on this Chronos doesn't have the best clear in the world. Speed buff will get invaded. Homie G will heal off Boombas. I love the Boombas heal.
Dude, and I mean, while we're looking at the fact we have the Vulcan ADC, didn't even glance over it, but this is a Hades mid. And this is something I feel like we haven't really seen. I mean, Divio's kind of making the big, shine bright Hades solo laner. He's what's going to be
Remedy,
kind of there. And Remedy, it's kind of respectful to have it go through, and not respecting right now. iFate's having to get forced out of his lane. Not going to take too much damage going forward, but already having to force to fall under the tower.
Yeah, OBG's already level 3 right now. Remedy, again, luckily has that dash. He's able to get away in that heal. Give him a little bit of a benefit. He doesn't have the Boombas, so he won't heal off of this camp nearly as well as he would like to. Still got a health pot, though, and again, the self-heal. Once he gets into that wave, he should be sufficient. There we go. Fate's finally hit level 2. He'll be able to shield and leap on there to get the bird bomb effect, clear the wave relatively easily. And you know, right now, again, we're kind of taking a peek at the duo side of things. Everyone just kind of farming up.
Right now, Sop's actually going to get caught out, taking a little bit of extra damage, going to take the meatball to the face. Looking like he should be able to get out of this one alive, but not worse for wear already, just sitting too low.
It was a good shell, though.
Yeah, and it's going to keep him alive, which I think is the big important part right now. And he's going to be able to heal up a little bit, but knowing that they can put that out. Panda Turtle, at this point, he knows he has that damage. He knows he can win this aggression if he's able to get into a position like that again.
Oh, Homie G, and like I said, Remedy he likes these characters like the Chang'e mids and the Hades mids. I've seen him do it in like ranked on people's streams and stuff. So, you know, this is not really a surprise to me. And this is a guy that understands Hades. And I love when teams there's nothing worse in my head than when I have a Hades on my team and I'm like, oh, cool, he's going to be able to heal me with the wave. And then he doesn't. And then I die because he doesn't heal me. And then I look at my Hades and I go, you're a jerk. And then, like, you know, you saw right there, Remedy, again, he waited. He saw the damage on Homie. He gets the heal off on him, so on and so forth. I mean, that's exactly the way you're supposed to play it. That's really why I like Smite, because of that, just that team aspect. And, you know, again, shout outs to solo queuing.
And I love seeing the player knowledge, you know, it just shows Remedy does know what he's doing. He didn't just pick up the Hades because he felt like playing Hades. He picked it up because he's like, I think I can make this work for our team. We can have the health, we can have the big ult, we can get this under control, and I think they can balance it out. And honestly, right now, they're showing a lot of control. Man Ray being Chronos, I mean, he's still a good mage, but he just doesn't really have the same push that you're going to see out of this Hades.
Oh, catches the okay, yeah, Galaria, nice purification. Otherwise, might have got caught right there. Has plenty of mobility, though, so realistically, there wouldn't have been an ult. Even if Remedy uses the ult, would have happened. But we were in the mid. All of a sudden, Sops is going to get the kill on Collateral. Panda Turtle is just getting breathed on. Get your Listerine and gargle it, because Genocide just took him down.
Exactly what you would really want to see if you're in the duo lane right now for Sops and Genocide being able to pick that up. I mean, just a beautiful ricochet. Sops being able to pick up the kill onto Collateral, and Genocide, at that point, he's a dragon. He doesn't really care what a Vulcan has to say, takes him down. Really being able to escalate themselves not only in the duo lane, but that allows them, they can start rotating a little bit more. Hu Yi's going to be ahead. He's going to be comfortable. And when you're against a Vulcan, that's not where you want to be sitting right now. You don't want to be behind when you're the Vulcan ADC.
No, you definitely don't. And again, the best thing is that you get both the duo lane. You get the support and you get the AD carry. And each one of your, I mean, you both got to kill. Fafnir gets one, Hui gets one. Cage here on the right-hand side, which is, I know I hit the anti-slow button, but it's still going through. Ra is finding himself in a little bit of trouble. Eagles rally over the top side. Can Galaria catch up to it? But no, the mobility is good. Here comes Remedy. There's the ultimate, and Galaria used all of his mobility. Remedy's going to get the last breath, but Ra is trying to escape. No ticks available.
Just going to be able to get out of that one alive. I mean, almost died twice there, bruh, but is able to kind of solidify himself. He will be able to farm up just a little bit more. Odin now looking to possibly get poked on, but really just a good engagement from Gilly, guy in your bed right there, because they needed that. That's exactly the kill they needed, although dropping maybe a little bit more ultimates than they'd be comfortable with, getting that kill, putting themselves on the board, and just not letting Sopnitas take this one away.
Yeah, I mean, again, it was still really good call by Remedy. He makes the rotation over, understands that both abilities are down for escape on the circuit. All of a sudden, no purification. Galaria is pretty much a sit and duck. Galaria does what he can. He attempts to use the last breath on Bruh. Bruh just a little bit too tanky. Doesn't have that mark of the Vanguard, but still just healthy enough with them to help with death toll to keep it in there. And now Collateral, one more time, he's going to get stunned. CC locked, uses the ult on top of himself. The damage will click, and he should fall one more time. Man Ray gonna be the claim of that third kill of the game for Sop, and Genocide going deep.
Yeah, I actually really like Genocide's positioning at that point, because he used the Dragon form, he got the little bit of extra damage down. The minute he knew his team was there to lock down Collateral, he just jumped away. He's like, all right, I'm going to be zoning now, make sure no one's going to come in to stop you guys, make sure things go, I mean, just the way you would want it to. And right now, Panda Turtle looking to be the next target. The stun not going to connect, though, and that's going to be the complete disengage. Sopnitas just falling back immediately.
Well, the power of Panda Turtle and the Vulcan, just like Hercules in solo lane, is, you know, YOLO. Hey, I'll just use my ultimate on the wave, and it's going to clear it, especially from the distance that he has available for him. So he's able to still farm the XP. He'll back up. The waves will meet. He'll lose maybe a creep or two, but again, he'll rather have that than dying at any point in time. Looking at the map, though, no buffs are available, and a lot of, I mean, I should say a lack of vision, because there's no wards on the right-hand side. There's a lot on the left. Really got to get that up. Otherwise, you can see Fates get ganked pretty easily or something along those lines, but it doesn't look like they're heading over to solo just yet.
Yeah, a lot of blue vision on this left-hand side. Not only those 3 wards, but they did pick up those Oracle Harpies as well. So a little bit of experience, a little bit of gold to split among themselves, but also that nice free vision right there that they don't necessarily have to worry too much about getting, although now the counter wards will be coming out from Collateral, and really, that's the kind of name of the game. You can notice from the fact that the jungle buffs are all down, all of these junglers, all of these members have eyes on their timers. They know exactly when things are going on. Although Remedy going to get aggressed on right now. Half health, trying to go forward. Going to use that heal. The ult coming out. Man Ray going to go back in the rewind. And now Remedy's in a bad spot. Going to get chased down. The stun's going to be good. Man Ray going to be able to pick up that kill.
So smart. Both played it really well, but the bird bomb over the top, there's a cage getting a couple. The dragon is unleashed. And again, one more time, but a great stun by Bro, understanding exactly what he needed to do, but Homie G will get the revive. He'll go to where the dead corpse of Kefri was, but it's just a suicide corpse fiesta. 3 members fall all on top of each other, and it looks like a solo fight in the dual lane. Let's see if the Hunters can take it.
Yeah, right now Sop's just looking for it. Not going to get the stun, though, so he's going to stop the aggression, take out that turret, and let Panda Turtle get away. But his team feeling happy with that one, even though Sops didn't get a piece of it. I mean, 4 kills right there in the mid lane. Clean. Nothing dropped. And really, I mean, they weren't able to turn it into a Gold Fury. The cooldown timers for the death right now are just still a little bit too low. But ultimately, Sopnitas, I mean, they're showing their strength. They show they're not afraid, and they show that they don't really care that you have a Kepri revive. They'll fight through it anyway.
You know, again, but both mechanically sound, you know, you said it in the picks and bans, and I was joking. Who are these players? Very solid players on both sides. Man Ray and Remedy, again, just using the heal and getting himself some health. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. He has to force the purification. That's going to be an important cooldown for the next 160 seconds. That will be timed out, and they will make sure to go ahead and take out Hades when they can. But again, just the prowess. Man Ray using the ult, getting back. Remedy he cancels his ult as soon as he realizes that he wasn't going to kill Kronos. He does cancel it, and we do get a solo kill. Looks like Sops was forced to use the Sanctuary, though, still on the left-hand side, but he'll take that for the 1v1.
And the big one going to be taking away those Doom Orb stacks right there. It's going to be big for him. We actually, Collateral just took away that red buff, was able to confirm it for his team, just using that damage over time. But this is where it gets rough. Panda Turtle now sitting 0-2-0. He has the Doom Orb. He's doing what you want to see on a Vulcan, except for the getting ahead part. That's really where it kind of breaks. Right now, 2 levels behind. It's going to be an incredibly rough game going forward. And already, I mean, it's showing that Sopnitas are pushing themselves further ahead. If Sops is able to get those kills for free and start rotating over to these fights, it's going to be easier, as Homie G already half health, taking a little bit of extra damage from the Dragon Form. In goes Genocide, and just a huge amount of burst from Man Ray. Does not care what you have going on, and they're going to be able to get the double kill.
100% outplayed. Nemesis, Homie G, I know you're smarter than that, man. The pathing of the way both Homie G and Remedy ended up taking from that mid lane was just not good. Left-hand side, though, the 2v2, there is the Suns. Sops is going to get that one. Collateral not even able to pull the trigger in time for the ultimate. He might grab it on himself, but the last breath, Sops with the double for no reason. He just bounced. Not only the double kill, but the ricochet was 2 as well, and he just did that for the looks.
That went from 2v2 to 4v1 in an instant. The rotations from Sopnitas right now are on point. I mean, after getting those kills, what do? Immediately they have the Gold Fury. Nobody from ilovegilly was really able to make that rotation over. Odin still pushing over there on the right-hand side. Bologna preoccupied. The other 2 members that were still alive, Remedy and Homie, were just left to kind of wander through the jungle. And now at this point,
where did this game kind of go wrong? I mean, let's, you know, we take a look at the graphs. I hit F4. I see what's going on. An 8K experience lead nearly, a 6K goal differential after the Gold Fury. This is all at 10 minutes. And honestly, I can't really say that I Heart Gilly has played terribly, but you know, that other than that last double kill that we just saw from Judo's side, that was poor positioning and pathing by the other team, and that obviously has to get fixed. But really, 12 kills to 1, like, where it went wrong?
Honestly, I'm going to just say, I think it's not necessarily the play that went wrong as much as it is the picks when it comes down to it. I mean, even right now, like, bruh, as Bologna, he's a big bully, he's able to stay alive, and he's barely able to contain the fact that iFates and Gilliara are just over here tearing him apart. He has his team rotating over, the cage is going to be coming through, but there's still a ton of damage to be pumped forward, and Remedy's going to be the one who has to get it, and it's going to be a second kill for the team, but overall, they use so much just to get it.
Yeah, I mean, just like Verb and J-Mac were talking about earlier on, I mean, at one point they used 5 ults to kill the support. In this aspect, they used 3 big ultimates to take down iFates, who is level 12 right now, which is good. But here come the reinforcements. Last breath is available for Gilliara. Who's he going to end up using? That was a question. Doesn't even have to. Bologna falls. Purification. Nemesis is chasing. Can he get the body blocks help? He's literally one hit, and he will walk away scot-free. I can't believe he gets away.
Those are the jukes you need. I mean, one hit. That's all it would take. One hit from Homie G, not able to find it. And he saved that last breath. He saved it. Another solo kill there on the left-hand side. And again, all right, so we were talking about it. Picks. That's what it comes down to right now. Homie G going to get annihilated right now. His health bar getting bursted down. The shield going to heal him up a little bit, but Man Ray not looking to care too much. Rewind going to be coming through. And it looks like a retreat from both teams, although Genocide looking to get aggressive, but the picks come through. Nemesis.
You know what it is?
Panda Turtle?
It's the fact that they're killing the mid lane mage with Dumor, which isn't the mid lane mage, but it's still a mage with Dumor. You know, I've had conversations about how I'm not even going to talk about Homie G about to die, but regardless, this Homie G is trying to survive. He actually will end up getting pulled back last second of that ability. Man Ray doesn't have an ult. He's got to be careful. Sanctuary used, and Homie is still alive. Okay, now he dies. Galari will end up taking out Remedy. Oh, well, Panda Turtle, he does not have an ultimate available. He's coming here at level 10, and that's just going to kind of tickle Man Ray.
Yeah, right now, Man Ray, though, a little bit low trying to get away, and no one able to lock him down. Collateral, not enough mana to do it. He's going to run into the tower, though, and that's going to take a little bit of damage.
Yeah,
He's ultimately going to fall down, not able to get away there. But, I mean, choosing to go to the tower instead of really getting killed. iFate's now getting chased around. The shield should be good enough, and there's just not going to be enough damage output. I mean, Panda Turtle's level 10. He's 0-4-1. Only 12 stacks on that Doom Orb. He just does not have the damage you want out of a Vulcan. And that's really the part, like, that's the problem. We mentioned it in picks and bans, and we mentioned it when we saw it was ADC. It gets incredibly rough to play this god when you're in a position where Sops can do what he just did.
Well, yeah, again, you know, you're 3 levels or 5 levels behind in this aspect. Sops is 6-0, level 15. They're really, this is where the game just becomes a little bit not even fun to deal with and play, especially if you're on the receiving end. But I gotta say, they did what they're supposed to do. If you pick up Doom Orb in my game, I will be demanding that you get camped and that you get shut down. That's exactly what they've done to Panda Turtle, and I can't say I'm surprised. That's the way you're supposed to play it. When you have a stacking item, the caliber of Doom Orb, the strength, the power, what it provides is so much, as Man Ray is hitting every auto and then cleans it up with the time. Oh, man.
I was just thinking, had he still had that Fatalis effect, that would have been over much faster. But Man Ray just showed exactly what you want. Genocide took it. But, like, I mean, he showed exactly what you want to see. I mean, he would hit one auto, and then he'd stop, continue walking until he caught up, hit one auto, and just did it over and over again. There was nowhere for Bruh to really run away at that point, and it worked out well. A nice revive coming out from Collateral, but it doesn't look like it'll be enough. No, the stun not going to connect. The pull not going to be good, though. Man Ray looking for the kill. He's going to get decimated, though.
Red buff. He's ready to go. Oh, red buff support. You didn't do what? What? Get over here. Genocide. You have the red buff. I'm following him. He better kill somebody with his red buff. He's walking away. Feels bad. Look at the net worth, though. Let's take a look at that. Literally only 100 gold less is the Fafnir worth versus his Hui, who has 6 kills. The power of the No-Nose mask with the Travelers plus Fafnir passive has this man worth 9,000 gold in comparison to the 7,800 that Collateral is. That's a huge difference. That's another reason. We're not even talking about the fact that Panda Turtle just got swashed again, because it's 20 to 4, and realistically, I think iHeart Gilly know what's going on.
And right now, iFate's again taking a little bit of trouble for his pokes. Going to be able to jump away. Has the shield, has the cage. Going to be used. The Phantom used aggressively from Collateral right there. Trying to chase him down. They're going to grab Genocide, get a little bit of extra poke, but I'm not sure what the game plan is here. Kill the dragon. At this point, he's level 13. It might be worth a little bit, but really going forward, he just has a nice escape.
Nice shell. Okay, he's going to prevent a little bit of damage. Homie G will end up getting a big shutdown. There's a frenzy pop. Don't see that too often. At least recently there. Remedy going to try to get a kill. Genocide. He's eventually going to fall because he will run out of the dragon form. They're going to waste the ult on top of him. Good enough for that. Bates is going to end up trying to do some work. And Collateral will end up falling to him. And now, Man Ray, look at the positioning. They're just focused on this Odin, leaving Man Ray to hit nearly every auto. I mean, I swear, he's got to be at 80%, but the Panda Turtle did it!
That was it. That was the play they needed. That was like the one thing that the team could do to come back into this.
That's the one thing Vulcan's good for. You did it. Yeah! He's jumping. He's so happy. He's like, yeah, I got 21 stacks to do more. I'm
like,
2 and 6.
Never mind the 6 deaths. Never mind the 21 stacks. Just mind the fact that he was able to turn that one around. And like, it's a small play. It just takes a little bit of a deficit. I mean, it's still 6k gold in favor of Sopnitas, still 6k experience in favor of them as well. But it's enough to kind of deter them. Now, Sopnitas know they can't go too deep. Of course, if they start playing it a little bit more, if they play more carefully at this point, it's just going to be more of the same that we've seen this game, but just the knowledge that can kind of ignite the fire. Right now, ilovegilly, they feel it. They want to fight. They can win the game.
You know, again, that's the danger of this squad, though. When you do look at it, at 17 minutes, we did kind of talk about the fact that the Nemesis was really kind of early picked. Wasn't really going to maybe be able to bring a lot to the table. Bologna's 3v1 right now. Great knock-up. Going to stop the bludgeon, and Galari will get that kill. Just love the mechanical plays coming out. Small things like that are great. Stop at the bludgeon. Gold Fury attempt on the left-hand side, though, as there are so many people. But, hey, you're going to do gold. We'll go ahead and take Fire Giant, as that's going to be halfway down right now. I don't think there's going to be a response nearly in time. So the trade, not the best.
I mean, it's turn that 6k down to 5k, and now the team that has been beating you all game now has Fire Giant on all 5 members, and they are about to single you out. Remedy going to get caught out with Collateral right now. Frenzy Pop, but the damage just erasing them off the map. A big Vulcan ult coming around, but just not really going to accomplish anything. Panda Turtle not able to replicate what he was doing earlier. Homie G is split pushing, but there's not much they can do. This Phoenix in mid lane looks like it should fall very soon.
Yeah, not a lot. I mean, again, Panda's trying to do some work. He's got some very expensive items, so even though he's level 14, he can still do a little bit of work with that Spirit Desolation if he can actually connect on the abilities. But again, this is where we see if you're not able to connect on the backfire, if you're not able to connect on the beatball, really your damage is non-existent. You're not going to be able to do too much. It's just kind of just hasn't been able to do it. We look at the play. He actually is second on the player damage. He just hasn't felt like it, though. He hasn't had that impact.
And really, right now, it's looking like there's a chance for the turnaround from ilovegilly, although now with just a couple members chasing deep, Man Ray relatively low. The stun, or the silence going to be coming through. The stun coming out from Man Ray, but Bruh going to be able to pick that one up, no problem. Now, Genocide running away, and they're going to be able to make it out. They did not get that Phoenix, though, and I think that's the big important part for ilovegilly guy right here, is just the fact that they were not able, or they were successfully able to defend their Phoenix, and we see Sopnitas not able to fully push through. Portal Demon started up right now with Genocide in the neighborhood. I just don't think this is going to be quite the call. He does have potential for a steal, but it really comes up. Remedy should be able to burst this one down for his team. That's going to be a clean pickup.
Yeah, Genocide not even really going to attempt to steal. That wasn't, I mean, there's not a, oh my god, he just got wrecked. The crits. I didn't even realize that Sop has Deathbringer and Rage right now. He just hit Remedy through the roof. And again, Remedy, he's playing Mage Hades, doesn't have any defense online or anything like that, so he's pretty soft target to kill. Collateral is going to be the victim of the last breath. Not really the best choice for Gilaria, but he'll still go ahead and walk away just fine, and it looks like the 5v5 will continue.
Now Genocide going to be leaping in right now. Crits coming down from the Hu Yi, trying to get that damage. Collateral going to ult himself one more time. Stops out of position using the Aegis, just trying to stay alive, but it's not going to last long enough. Now Genocide caught out 4 members surrounding him. He's going to be running away.
Their Odin's not here.
Bruh is coming around, though, and Bruh has the ultimate. The stun should be coming down relatively soon if they need it, but the lockdown not going to be necessary. As Genocide falling out of that dragon form, locked in place, takes all that damage. It's going to be 2 kills for none right now. ilovegilly are trying to stay in this fight as best as they can.
ilovegilly are staying in this game at 20 minutes and some change. They have taken, I mean, look at the graphs. I mean, that was an 8K gold lead at one, or in experience, and near like 7K gold. I mean, this has gone downhill, and that's the team that got Fire Giant. Now, yeah, I Fates, he's going to take a tier 1 on the left-hand side, but it's like that's an Odin. They weren't grouped in that last engagement. They went ahead and tried to take the separate fights, and they did they had superhero syndrome. That's what I've been calling it. When you think you can go ahead and 1v5 everybody because you're so far ahead, it just ends up being one of those things, oh, I could take on the world, I could take on all these bad guys, and you really can't.
And really right now we're going to be seeing, at this point, I Love Gilly, like you had said, they're kind of starting to show a little bit more teeth. They're hitting where they want, but at the same time, it's still, you picked, I guess, kind of poorly. The late game gods they have just didn't prosper long enough early on that they need longer in this game, whereas right now, I mean, 21 minutes, Sopnitas are in a position where they could close this game out if they win.
What did you say? And go ahead and repeat your quote you said during our little off-camera break, because that's pretty much the way it is. Like,
I mean, at this point, I'm looking, I want to see Panda Turtle be successful. He has the Doom Orb, he has the damage, but again, when it comes down to it, they just don't, I mean, they don't have the picks. When you look at the side on Sopnitas, they are running exactly what they need to, and while they've been a little over-aggressive, mainly looking at Sops, who keeps getting caught out of position, they've been able to win these fights, and they've been able to win them handedly, and when it comes down to it, the Nemesis, the Vulcan, aren't really holding on to what they need.
They are going so luxury right now. Fafnir has a Gem of Isolation. This is an ability now. This is an item that you're like, why does Fafnir have Course? If you don't know, I'm about to tell you. Course is OP with Gem of Isolation. Any abilities and attacks that are used from his team that's Course is going to get a Gem of Isolation effect. That means Sops, if he uses the Suns and he has Course on him, that's a double slow. That's just as bad as a Poseidon Whirlpool.
Yeah, and when it comes down to it right now, so you're looking at a cage and the fact that they cannot run anymore. And there's going to be the cage that you want to see. iFate's going in deep, although he's going to be taking a little bit of extra damage. The Vulcan Bomb going to be coming crashing down, getting a little bit of extra damage. Sops very low in the backline already. iFate's trying to do as much as he can, but with them zoning him out, Sops going to fall down. That's going to be the biggest thing they can for him. Man Ray should be the next target, and this is just the two separated. We have two members who went really
separate
far
fights.
deep, and now 2 and 3 members just standing behind the tier 2. iFates is still standing between the tier 2 and the Phoenix and just not able to get anything. And with Sops getting eliminated, a lot of their damage has been decimated off the board. And now Sopnitas
Panda Turtle, yeah. Panda Turtle is getting stacks online. He's getting a little bit better. He's got 34. At this point, this item is very cost effective. I'd love to see him get the kill, but the shield is good. Homie G, there it is. Panda Turtle is going to get his 4th kill. 39 stacks. Fire Giant is available now. Man Ray, can he stand alone against this squad? How fast can they burn it? If Homie G knows how to tank the Fire Giant, he might be able to survive, but he took a couple extra shots. Now it's on Panda. Here we go. TP coming in. That's going to be a friendly TP, so they won't worry about it too much. Bruh is now here. Genocide's going to jump on in. Is he going to be able to steal this? Because they don't really have a lot of burst, but no, great pull. Great silence from the Kepri collateral, showing the prowess to not let that get stolen.
And now Genocide, just on his last legs, not going to be able to escape this one for long. Panda Turtle going to get the
Is this a
kill.
throw?
I think this is a throw. I think we
like,
could actually sign Sopnitas up for professional baseball with how well they are throwing this game.
I mean, it's absolutely unreal. I mean, again, we're talking about in Smite, it's not uncommon to come back from like the 4,000, the 5,000 gold deficits, but you know, they never quite got to the 10K mark, which is where we consider that magical number of like, oh, you're just infinitely far ahead, we can't do anything. And the biggest problem was is that there was so much time spent on Panda Turtle, I think, in the dual lane, and now he got pooped on. He died 7 times. He got wrecked. But the man has been alive now the rest of the time, and he's got 5 kills, 50 stacks of Doom Orb, Pen Boots, Gem, or a Spear of Desolation, and now Abshard. He is swinging, and at 25 minutes in the game, this Vulcan is hitting his prime time.
And this was what we really needed to see from Sops. He got the lead, he was abusing it for a little bit, but the minute they started making the rotations of the big team fights, he's continually getting caught out and singled out very early on. He rushed the crit. Right now he has 4 stacks on that Rage. He's looking to get the 5th one, but he went 4th item Rage, and he went 5th item Deathbringer. He went that so early on in his build.
This is such
to get
a
that little bit of
build.
extra damage, and it's just... that and the positioning that's come out of him has not awarded him. And Panda
Turtle, on the right-hand side, there were
completely
three separate fights. Like you said, you know, Fates, you were like, Fates jumps in, but he's way apart. And then, oh, Sops is in the back. You called the play-by-play, and you can't even call the play-by-play because there were three different fights. And one more time on top of Sops they go. They know he's the target to bring down. The shell is good. Eagles rally over the top will get him out of the way. Volcano, can it hit somebody? Oh, he's forced to Aegis it out, but that was a clean shot from Panda Turtle right there. The tower is the objective. Can they get it? iFade's forced to jump back. T2 falls down, and we're looking at iHeartGilly on a comeback trail as Homie G is going to get one. He'll trade out, though.
That was exactly the play. The minute Serket jumped on him, he's like, I'm going to die. He threw me right into his team, and there's a tasty Chronos sitting there one hit away, able to get that, and makes it completely worth. At that point, you know you're going to die, take whoever you can out with you, and with the Gold Fury being open for his team right now, Gilliara in the neighborhood looking for a steal, same thing from iFates, but they're just not going to be able to get it a little bit too late, is their reaction, and now iFates taking a lot of poke just for diving that deep. Gonna get
Fafnir's Gem of Isolation looking a little less beneficial here. The Deathbringer and the Rage so early looking a little less beneficial here. This isn't what you want to do. This isn't Season 2 Smite or Season 3 where Wingblade Chronos is effective. You know, at this point in time, I'm looking at Sops, and I'm just seeing Throw written on the builds.
It's one of those things. They had a great lineup. They had the setup. They were just dominating this game. In fact, we saw a couple surrender votes. Of course, I think they were a little salty at the time. It was more just the I died again, hit the F6 button. But at that point, it was something that was feasible. I mean, we were talking about this like the game was completely over just because ilovegilly was so far behind. There was nothing they could really do, except they win that one fight. And it almost seems like they kind of tilted Sopnitas off of it, not only winning that fight, but then the builds kind of playing into it, the positioning playing into it. They just haven't had the playstyle they need on Sopnitas to win the fights and win the game. And right now, I mean, I'm looking at Gilliara. He's surrounded by three people with no real support around him. He's going to be able to fall back to his team, but he dove just a little bit too deep. Had he been on anyone other than Serket, that could have spelled his doom. Lucky for them, they're going to be able to get out of this, but really, I think ilovegilly are in control of this. They control the map, they control the flow.
No, 100%. The flow and the momentum is now in their favor. I was saying, it's not fun when you're on the other side of getting absolutely wrecked. It sucks. When you're 0-7 and you have done absolutely everything you can to survive and you can't do anything, especially when you're building to do more. But the fact is that Sop went ahead and took not one, several bad fights. That was the thing. I even said it earlier. I was like, oh, they can only do that maybe once or two more times, throwing a couple small fights here and there. One fight you can throw with a 7K lead. Two fights you could throw with a 7K lead. Three fights you're starting to sit there and make it a comeback, and, well, you do it four, and that last fight led to the goal or the Fire Giant and so on and so forth. You're looking like you can get come back on here.
Well, let's look at it this way. There was a 7K gold lead at one point. That is now a 3K gold lead. It's still a pretty significant gold lead for Sopnitas, but that's 4K that ilovegilly has been able to just eat away at through play. That was a 6K experience difference, now brought down to 1,500. These teams are neck and neck at this point, and that's honestly the best thing ilovegilly could be in a scenario. They're still slightly behind, but they've got the point where, I mean, their builds are looking a little bit stronger. We've seen those 50 stacks on that Doom Orb stay there for a while, and now with the fight starting up, the damage being thrown, Genocide the one with the lowest health bar, and right now Gilliara, again, caught out, taking a lot of damage, saved by his teammate, but only by the skin of his teeth.
I mean, Fates is going to get knocked up. There's the combination. Panda Turtle was a little off the mark earlier on those meatballs and backfires, but he's getting to the point where he's hitting them. The shield is going to be activated for Fates. Doesn't look like it's going to do too much. It's going to go down, has an opportunity to damage the Fates if he wants to. This positioning by Brawl has to be careful. I have seen so many Mystical Males pull Fire Giants in my time of playing Smite. It is unbelievable. And we were watching the other game previously earlier in round one where Osiris had it, and my whole time I was like, is he going to pull it? But Brawl is going to be forced into the Eagles rally away from the team. That's going to be a big ultimate down.
Right now, Gilliara again trying to get aggressive. Genocide taking a lot of poke early on. Bruh, gonna get a crit thrown down onto him. The Vulcan ult gonna come down, not gonna connect with anyone. The Suns are dropped into the cage, trying to get a little bit of extra damage, just looking for a kill. Both of these teams at this point are on the teetering edge. There's no real healers going forward. They have to fight with what they can. With lifesteal on some of these members, it should work out well. But again, I'm just looking at it. Sops still only has 4 stacks. One more stack for that Rage. This crit could really turn around and do a lot for him, and that's gonna be the first kill, but they still haven't been able to find it. looking for Remedy, looking for Bruh, anyone, but no one is getting out of position enough. There's no real target, and iFate's looking to get ulted down by the Nim, but no one is dying.
No one is dying at all, but Brawl will end up getting the first kill. Genocide is going to fall. Fates blinks forward. Bird Bomb not going to be quite enough, but Sops cleans it with the ricochet. Remedy had the ultimate from Khepri on him. He's got to watch out to be careful. His team is very low. Man Ray cleans it up, but Galario's going to take a tower shot. For what reason did you jump in there? Panda Turtle gets the kill. Eagles rally, comes back up, pull down. Thorns is there. Can he get this? He gets the kill with Thorns. Oh, it's so painful to see that happen.
2 for 3. It sucks for Sopnitas there, especially at this point. I mean, I love Gilly really being able to close this gap down. That being said, they were able to kind of get enough kills. Even though it was only 2, it's enough to stop the Fire Giant. They have enough members, especially with iFates being one of the ones alive, to at least delay a Fire Giant. There's no real guaranteed Fire Giant win here, but I do see I Love Gilly maybe eyeing it. Of course, jungle buffs are back up. They can go and farm. I'm looking at Panda Turtle. I'm just going to continue looking at Panda Turtle. He went from like 0-6 to 6-7, and he has the build you want. He has exactly the setup that he needs as Vulcan. Well, he doesn't exactly hit every single ult. He doesn't need to. He's using it for zoning. That last fight, he separated Sopnitas, was able to kind of get some of them to move a little farther forward than they would feel comfortable.
I don't know what Gilly was doing jumping into the tower line. Like, was he going for the tower? Did he want to... I don't honestly even know if he had last breath up or not. I didn't see the cooldown myself on that last engagement, but you can't jump into that tower when your whole team is one-shot. Remedy looks so tasty, and so do a couple of their members. I understand that, but it's just a gamble that you can't take. And again, one more time, Fire Giant is going to get started up. And, bro, actually, it wasn't Thorns that killed him because I realized there wasn't an auto attack. That was that wonderful aura of a mystical male that ended up probably getting that last kill. Eagles Crowley forced out the one more time for Bruh.
And now we're going to see the cage once again drop down. The Bird Bomb coming through. The Suns are dropped. A lot of damage being thrown down. Bruh taking a lot. Homie G taking a lot. And now we're seeing Panda Turtle again just show what he's useful for, trying to zone and get a little bit of extra damage down. The beads being forced. Those going to be big. Genocide taking a ton of damage going forward. Dragon Form coming out. And iFace trying to lead the way as well. They just need to lock anyone down. And Remedy's going to be the first to fall. Now with Homie G dashing away. The beads are used. And Genocide going to fall back in return. 1 for 1 so far. The mid for support. iFace trying to do his best. But the tier 2 over here fell as well, and that's going to be a big win for Sopnitas.
Yeah, looks like Sops right there is like, okay, hey guys, we got to get this tower down. Again, they're just diving, so they end up getting the tower down. Sops make sure that happens. But look, you know, they got 2 main auto attackers. Here we go, though. Sops is the one tanking it. He's going to take a couple more shots. Collateral, again, that's the downfall of Khepri. I'll get into that in a second as Man Ray's got himself a double kill. Looking for the triple. Can he find it? Ultimate is not available for him. He's going to end up falling to the Homie G, and Fate is it a 2v1 scenario that he is no longer going to enjoy. But going back to Khepri, so he has ultimate, but he uses his one and gets a pull. Well, guess what? Not only can the opponent not use abilities, but you're stuck in that animation and can't pull the trigger on your ult.
And that's going to be one of the, again, just downfalls, like you had said. Really, right now, I've been watching over iFates. He's been kind of trolling around. Not necessarily trolling around, but being Odin, being as tanky as he is right now, he's not too terribly worried about anybody coming forward. And actually, Sops looks like they want to start up the Fire Giant. He's going to be throwing out that damage. He did get that 5th stack on Rage, so he has that extra little bit of crit going forward. And now his build is going to work out. I don't like the fact that he built crit as early as he did, but now it's exactly what he wants
now
it to,
it's rounded out.
He's also
like,
at
now
half
it's
health,
okay.
And he's going to be a little bit careful.
Well, you know, the Oboe is just one of those items. I feel like it's a good one, especially in team fights. It does help. The DPS is there for sure. He's got the 5 stacks of Rage, so he's getting himself some extra crit. The kin size is always nice. But, you know, crit is countered with, you know, the Hide of the Nemean Lion that Bellona has, the Thorns. There are items in the game that counter this, which is a little upsetting that I haven't seen necessarily. Like, well, no, there it is. Okay, Runic Shield is built. I was kind of looking for this. I was like, where's the Runic Shield out to help stop with the Chronos and, you know, to even stop Sops a little bit to go ahead and slow down or to get the magical power. But where's the anti-attack speed items? You know, where's something that's going to end up slowing down these double in-hand, you know, killers? Really, Sops and Man Ray, that's what they're doing.
I do like the fact that they have opted into the pin. I think recognizing the Genocide and iFates are really just kind of being a little bit more of a thorn in their side. I'm looking mainly at the Nemesis right now. Homie G going for not only the ult, but having that little bit of extra pin to kind of help eat through these two frontliners and help his team go forward. As the cage again going to be crushed down, we see the portal even go the way of Sopnitas. Suns are dropped, Vulcan ult coming down, damage being thrown out. Sops already very low, not going to fall, being able to jump over the wall. Man Ray is going to be the first kill of the fight. iFate's looking to fall next. Remedy is low, Panda Turtle is low, but it's looking like it's going to be a 2-for-1 so far. ilovegilly are winning this fight.
Panda Turtle, man, I'm sorry I made fun of you earlier. You were 0-1 a bajillion. You were getting pooped on, but you've come back strong, my man. You're probably going to die right here. It's not really a lot you can do. Ooh, the Duke shoes were close. I'm not going to lie. Sops is going to go in. The dive bomb is good. He's got a double. Looking for the triple. Can he get it? There's the Thorns. There's the high to the enemy line. Sops can't attack. Neither can Gilly. Just got to walk away. Look at that damage that he took. And Remedy's going to kill it off of him. Oh, baby.
Gilly just killed himself. Like, that was 100%. He just killed himself on the Thorn. Baited, like 100% baited. That was chasing bruh way too deep. Remedy making that rotation over. He almost fell. It almost went the way of Sopnitas, but they weren't able to get the damage down that they wanted to. I mean, now sitting at 10, 5, and 8. Sops is still doing well, but that's just another example of going too far.
Do that when look, you can't. Gilly, that's twice he's made some crazy play, and I'm just like, I gotta scratch my head sometimes. I'm like, what's going on? It doesn't get it. You know, the fact that, look, I'm reading Deathbane right now. This ability can critical hit. Okay, let's go look at the build real fast. You know, he's got a Malice. Well, guess what happened when he dashed? He critically hit, and he took a lot of damage back, and all of a sudden, Remedy, again, this is not a tank 80s. This is pure damage. Look at what he's got going on here. Getting ready to get into a Spirit's World for a little bit of defense, but he just dove in and was able to wreck him.
And that's really just, don't underestimate Thorns, I think, is the moral of the story right now. Do not underestimate the fact that you can, in fact, kill yourself. I mean, Sops had the presence of mind to stop auto-attacking right there, but Gilliar, I don't know if it was mistiming, miscounting, whatever happened.
I mean,
ultimately,
it's 8 seconds.
He erased himself completely. And, I mean, now they're still in a position. I mean, this game is dead even. There's a gold lead. This is going
to be our second 40-minute game.
Still 6K in favor of Sopnitas, but at this point, I mean, everyone's 6-slotted. The only thing that's going to be bought right now are going to be maybe extra wards, upgrading all of your relics, which actually all of them are. So,
yeah, I need to see Fafnir sell this Gem of Isolation, I think, in some cases. You know, he's just got to get a little tankier. I need to see Panda Turtle a little bit. There's a couple things I want to see. Like I said, Panda Turtle needs to be more patient on his ult. Wait for the Fafnir. Wait, get the timing down. Go ahead and blow it up then. A lot of people are jumping out of his ult. He needs to be patient on top of that. If he can get a good ultimate, the game changes. The same is vice versa for Sops. If he's able to sit there and get a stun combination with the Suns and get coerced with the Gem of Isolation effect that's currently available, you're looking at a dead target because they can't get out. That's really the name of the game. Which one of these thick AoE ultimates hits? Remedy's going in first, won't get the fear, but now they're going to close on Fates.
Now the cage going to be dropped right there. The Sun combo once again coming down, trying to get that damage down, but it's just not doing what it needs to. Again, separating the fight. Remedy going to throw that ult up. Genocide going to spread a little bit of damage using that dragon form right now, and really just looking like he's once again caught out. Like, that's the penetration coming out from Homie G and the rest of his team, and that is why they are eating through. Sops again so low, barely able to get back right there, and really, I mean, this is just looking like the fight. ilovegilly can continue this aggression. They are winning it all in all. Their health bars are higher, their mana pools are higher, but Homie G getting chunked down. Man Ray, though, going to get pulled in using those beads, just trying to run away, and this is a full retreat from Sopnitas.
Well, I mean, look, again, you got to look at the fact that Sops is playing super greedy. Let's call out his second relic. The man's got a Sunder. He doesn't even have purification beads. Sops went Sunder as a second relic, and this might be coming back to haunt him. And Fafnir went Frenzy, which I respect the Fafnir Frenzy, because that, in course, is crazy. But speaking of crazy is the fact that Odin Cage is back up one more time, but it doesn't look like anything's going to happen. He just has to walk out of there. Looks like everyone will walk out just fine, really more or less using it for a zoning and escape, but his cooldown on that ultimate is so short with this build. Gladiator Shield is an intermediate item. I gotta see that get sold if he ends up falling or something like that. But look at the fire signs, got burnt.
Sopnitas going to be able to burst that one down, no problem now. 5 members strong, going to be able to get that one up, trying to win this next fight. Remedy's going to be the main target, I feel. He's going to go into his ult Man Ray, trying to get that damage, forced to rewind, just trying to get away, but Remedy's still looking low. The revive going to be on him, and it's going to proc! They didn't stop the damage in time. The sun's getting dropped down just to stop the escape. Bruh taking that extra bit of damage. That's going to be the first kill of the fight now going the way, and iFace not looking to let anything drop. The benefit of that cage is the low cooldown, and now it's looking like Panda Turtle and Remedy both going to get taken off the board, and this is going to be the turnaround. Now 37 kills for Sopnitas, a Phoenix exposed. If they get collateral, it's going to be open. There's only home EG between them.
That is actually it. That is actually it. And you know what? 40 minutes into the game, this was a hell of a fought battle. They're not going to end up winning iHeartGilly, but damn if they didn't play their asses off and play a really good game here to sit there and make it a comeback. They do end up losing. But I got to say, this 40 minutes and 30 seconds was not clean. This was very, very awkward in a lot of situations. They end up taking the victory, but if they want to win the finals, they got to clean that act up a little bit because that was sloppy. And if maybe Gilly was a little bit more, if they weren't so far behind, maybe they can win a fight a little earlier or so on. But that was still crazy.
I'm looking at the path of tonight's game so far. I'm looking at a 40-minute game for the very first match, dead even for a huge chunk of it, until finally at the end we see someone kind of turn themselves into the victor. Second game, it was still a great game and didn't quite last as long as that, but they were still able to play it out. And then this one, again, coming all the way up to 40-minute games. That was just the semifinals. This isn't even finals. That's not game 1. That's not game 2. This was just semis.
Yeah. No, that was that's absolutely ridiculous. Like, I'm ready to go. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to hit the pause screen, and we're going to go ahead and get into the finals where I believe the bracket is set, correct? Let me hit the refresh button. Yes, we still have Viper, who we saw earlier, take on Chunk Nation and get the victory in the quarters. We'll end up taking on Sopnitas and the boys we just saw here. See if that Hui comes out to play from Sops one more time. But we're going to take a short break, guys. Me and Goremizer will be right back with the rest of the show. Stay tuned. We love you guys.